It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning on Monday. Welcome to the week and welcome to a new month. We're now in April, which is hard to believe. We're in the second quarter of the month or the year already, and it's flying by. And as we enter the month of April, we want to welcome Thompson Sales to our
Yay,
lineup.
Thompson Sales. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. That's awesome.
So grateful for the sponsorship. Thanks for all you do in the community, because we know you do a lot. Thanks for being part of our podcast. We are thrilled to have you.
We are indeed. All right, Here's a look at the news. The town of Waynesville mourning a tragedy from this weekend. A youth soccer player collapsed on the field during a game and passed away. Ken Taylor was playing at Ruby-Doo Park when he collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. The city of Waynesville says a counselor is offering services for people who need them at school today. Meanwhile, the city of Crane is mourning the loss of Police Chief Bill Timpson. He had been chief of police since he moved here from Florida in 2021. No word about how he died yet or if he had been battling any sort of illness.
Boy, that's tough. Then there's this. It's likely tens of thousands of fish were killed in Missouri after a fertilizer spill in Iowa. It was actually the fifth largest fish kill ever in the state of Iowa. Nearly 750,000 fish, which is unbelievable. That poison flowed down the Mishnabotna River for 10 miles into the Missouri River, where it killed off the Missouri fish. They're still trying to figure out exactly what the estimate of Missouri fish is, but again, tens of thousands likely. The company responsible will have to pay fines for that.
All right. The drinking water at Kickapoo High School here in Springfield showed results for lead that were higher than the new standards allow. As a result, all water sources with lead contamination exceeding 5 parts per billion will be turned off until they can be fixed. An independent test showed 38 of the 191 sources showed lead concentration higher than what is allowed. Yikes.
Well, meanwhile, also in the Springfield Public School Districts, we now know where a new Pipkin Middle School will be built, less than a mile from the current location. So it's nice and close. The Springfield Public School District is buying nearly 9 acres of land from the Assemblies of God right there at North Campbell and West Division Streets. The new school will be paid for by that $220 million bond issue that voters passed in April of last year. Some more progress being made there. And speaking of progress, today is a homecoming for former and now current MSU men's basketball coach Konzo Martin. He will be reintroduced as head coach of the Bears at 1 o'clock today. Martin led the Bears for 3 years, 2008 through 2011. During his tenure, the Bears won their only Missouri Valley Conference regular season championship. He then left and coached at Tennessee, the University of California, the University of Missouri, where he coached for 5 seasons before he was let go 2 years ago. He's not been coaching for the last 2 years, but now he's coming back to the Bears, which is neat.
I'm excited about that. I saw some billboards over the weekend welcoming him, so that was fun. That was neat.
I think he's a good recruiter, and I'm excited about how he might be able to turn around the ball club, because they've had some down years here.
Yeah, well, and it seems like the Bears wanted to play for him. You know, you can have a boss that you want to work hard for. You know what I mean? You should work hard either way, but sometimes you get one that lights a fire under you, and he seemed to be able to do that. So that's exciting.
Yep.
All right. A plan to reimagine Lake Springfield will move to the Springfield City Council. The Board of Public Utilities, which controls city utilities in Springfield, gave the $1 billion plan a thumbs up. $1 billion plan. Wow. It would use 1,000 acres around the lake in South Springfield for a trail system and create an entertainment district. The shallow lake will also be transformed by adding islands in the middle that would be connected through bridges, and the trail system would be able to bridge to the islands. So
it's a neat idea.
Really exciting. I mean, you know that I love this sort of thing. So I personally like to see money spent on these sorts of attractions personally. But everybody has their own preference, I mean, not everybody wants it on that, but I think it's going to be fantastic.
Well, I think it's a neat idea. It's a beautiful location down there. It's very picturesque and scenic. It's a good location for something like that. It's a pretty steep price tag, so I'm a little skeptical as to whether it will happen, but I'm hopeful that it does, because I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. And I mean, you'll make money on it too. Like I'm thinking of the Finley River District where in Ozark, Johnny Morris did the mill. And then there's like the cute little trail that connects now to the OC and to that trail. And then the Chadwick Flyer Trail would connect Springfield to Ozark to the OC. And then, of course, you can go behind the OC to the Finley River. I don't know. It could be a super cool, like big trail system. Think Bentonville, Arkansas. If anyone has been there, you know what I'm talking about. But it's incredible, the connectivity. So anyway.
They got Walmart money.
They do have Walmart money. Yes, that's always helpful. Walmart money is always helpful. The city of Branson is a step closer to officially being named Missouri's live entertainment capital. And who else in Missouri would take the cake, right? A bill to rename it just that passed the state House of Representatives, now moves on to the Senate for approval before it becomes official. Branson's economy is very reliant on tourism, as you know. The Missouri House also voted to approve a bill that would reduce the corporate income tax and eventually get rid of it altogether. So we'll see. The current tax rate's 4%. The new rate would be 3% starting on January 1st. It would then drop by 1 percentage point each year until it is done away with by 2028. The bill moves to the state Senate, which did not pass a similar bill last year. So
yeah.
No guarantees.
Yeah, that's the thing is the Senate had the opportunity last year, chose not to. So I don't know whether this is going to pass. There are some pretty strong arguments on both sides of it. So
yeah,
we shall see.
I'm not educated on the corporate income tax. I do know the state income tax I did not pay in Texas, and it was pretty great. That's all I know. I mean, I wasn't even old enough. I was like 21, so I don't even know what I didn't know about taxes, but.
Same for me.
You definitely notice it in your paycheck for sure.
Yeah. We told you about the continuing construction on the Grant Avenue Parkway. It's been a long haul and it continues. But even as that project on the roads continues there, a new apartment project is just beginning. The Dale. It's called The Dale, D-A-L-E, is now under construction. It's going to house 42 apartments on Grant Avenue when it's completed about a year from now. So the Grant Avenue Parkway, of course, is going to be a nice parkway with sidewalks, wide sidewalks that will connect downtown Springfield with Bass Pro Shops when it is eventually completed. And if anybody works or lives near there, it's been going on for a while.
Yes.
And Sarah told me about this, and then I read about it, and I'm freaked out a little bit because we are AT&T customers, and you could be one of 73 million current and former, mostly former, I think, customers who had their information stolen and then offered up on the dark web, whatever that is. The company, AT&T, is investigating what happened, but it's too late because it already happened. And of course, AT&T is struggling a little bit because just a few months ago, they had that massive outage. And then they took heat for offering customers $5 off their total bill for the month, no matter how many lines you had. So we'll see what happens this time.
Yeah. So yes, that could be you and me with our information all compromised. And I don't even know how we know if we were compromised. You know what I mean? So until we have some fraudulent charge or something, who knows? All right, the waiting is over. The new and improved Fire in the Hole is now open at Silver Dollar City. The indoor roller coaster is the most expensive coaster ever built at Silver Dollar City with a $30 million price tag. It replaces the original Fire in the Hole, which opened in 1972. And apparently the new one is a throwback to the old one. I haven't been on it yet, but my friends who have ridden it say it's a throwback and that it's pretty cool.
Well, we saw pictures of the big crowds down there on Saturday when it opened, and they had nice weather all weekend long.
Yes.
For people to go down there and ride it for the first time.
Right. I mean, the crowd, I guess it was the PR person, Dalton, whose picture I saw, but I mean, it was just like a mass of people. It wasn't even a line. It was just a mass of people. So that's exciting for them. And yes, the weather, of course, makes the opening of any roller coaster much better.
Much more. Although this is indoor, but the line is outdoor. So.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, 007 is the feature this week at the Gilloy's midweek matinee. James Bond Goldfinger is the movie. It's a good one. Starts 2:00 on Wednesday. Greene and Christian County seniors 60 years old and older, getting closer every day, get a free combo ticket with proof of ID upon arrival.
That's really cool. I love that the Gilloy's does this because when I'm a senior, I'm going to go to this midweek matinee. Like, what else are you doing? What else are you doing?
Well, I was thinking about that. If when I turn 60, even if I'm still working, it's not that far away now. And if they're still doing this, I'm going to take the day off and go check out the midweek matinee and get myself a free combo ticket.
That's the thing, is that the price is right, you know?
It is.
All right. Finally, this Saturday, April 6th, is an event to offer support to people who have autism and their families. The annual Autism Information Blast will happen at the Battlefield Mall, which is near the JCPenney East Court. It's put on by the Around the Ozarks and is free from 10 to 6. So make plans to be there on Saturday.
Okay. A lot of families dealing with those sorts of issues. So check out the Battlefield Mall. All right. Our week is underway.
I know. Our week is underway. Don't forget to go to aroundtheozarks.com and enter into our giveaway for the 4-pack of baseball tickets to a Springfield Cardinals baseball game at Hammons Field. And then there's fireworks afterward. So check it out at aroundtheozarks.com. Just click on contest, and it is super simple to enter to win.
Oh, and let me just tell you, let me do a plug for the newsletter. Because the Florida fruit truck was in town on Saturday morning, and I went over there. It was near the Battlefield Mall. I think they got kicked out of the parking lot of the mall. They had to move right next door. But anyway, I posted the line on my Facebook page if you want to check that out. It was very, very long line, but they had enough strawberries, so I still got strawberries. And I posted about it. And there was a lady that said, I didn't know anything about this. What did anybody talk about it? And I said, well, I learned about it because I subscribed to the Around the Ozarks newsletter. And it was on that newsletter telling me when and where the fruit truck would be there. So I told her to go to aroundtheozarks.com and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll find out about all sorts of things like that.
Yes. And also our calendar, which is sponsored by Springfield Special Products, is amazing. It's a compilation of all community events, and there are many on there. So make sure you check it out. Speaking of events that are upcoming, now that we are in April, the Stronger Men's Conference happening at Great Southern Bank Arena is coming up, not this weekend, but the following. Is that right? Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like the month has moved so fast. Anyway, Harrison Butker, the kicker from the Kansas City Chiefs, is going to be there. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's cool. They always do. They do an interview. So they'll be talking to Harrison Butker about what the Super Bowl was like. I mean, he kicked a record-setting field goal. I mean, all the pressure in the world was on this guy because without him, they don't win the Super Bowl this time around.
Yes.
And man, I was just because I'd like for Griffin to be a kicker eventually.
Really?
I wish that I had been a kicker. And nobody ever told me about it.
He's not living vicariously through his children or anything like that. I don't know why anybody would get that kind of idea.
Nobody ever told me about it. But anyway, so I was thinking about all the pressure that Butker was under during that. And man, he came through perfectly. So he's going to be there talking about the Super Bowl and then his life of faith. And there's also going to be on Friday night, the entertainment will be an actual title fight, like real boxing. It is a title fight that is certified by the Boxing Association, whatever that is. So it's going to be the real deal. These guys are going to be fighting for real, legitimate fighters. And Griffin's going to go with me, and he's super excited about seeing the fights and hearing from Butker.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, it's April 12th and 13th at Great Southern Bank Arena. I still want to call it JQH Arena, but it's not that. Great Southern Bank Arena, April 12th and 13th. You can get tickets for that at strongermen.org. Strongermen.org.
And I think this is the last week. I think this is the last week for the lower price. The price goes up, I think, next weekend. So if you are interested, now's the time.
I'm excited to hear from Harrison Butker because I did not know that he was a person of faith. I mean, as you know, I'm a bandwagoner Chiefs fan. I've told you this, but I've become one. So I didn't know all of the Chiefs players that did not make the news all the time, like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and the ones. So I'm excited to like get to meet him or not meet him, but hear from him. So, and by I mean you who can then relay it. As it turns out, I am a female. So, okay, that's it. That's all we got.
That's it. That's it for Monday. We're off to a good start on a Monday. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 1st. And yes, we are talking about the chance for severe storms in the Ozarks. No April Fools for you here. Unfortunately, severe weather is going to headline my forecast today, and it is no joke. So I want you to take today's weather forecast very seriously. We're waking up with temperatures that are very pleasant after really a lovely weekend across the Ozarks. A bit breezy in the Ozarks. We had some cloud cover around, but temperatures for the Easter holiday weekend, really very nice. You can't beat it. 60s, 70s, and really nothing in the way of rainfall. That all changes. And there's even a few little bit of echoes showing up on the radar this morning early on. A few showers possible in the early hours today. A couple of thunderstorms even possible as well. These early storms are not anything to worry about. It's the round of showers and thunderstorms that develops and comes through later this afternoon and evening that I think we really need to pay attention to, because severe weather looking likely in the Ozarks with the conditions that we have set up across the region. I'll dive right in this morning to talk about that very active start to the work week. I mentioned temperatures this morning we're in the mid 60s. Things are feeling really nice. We'll warm up today into the upper 70s. I have 77 degrees for the high temperature in Springfield. That will come along with a strong south wind. Then you'll see most of the area is under an enhanced risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. That is for a round of storms that develop this evening through tonight. Now, peak hours for strong, severe storms, I'm going to say about 4 p.m. at the earliest, lasting through maybe midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning tonight. So a long-lived event, several hours where we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms. And it's the entire Ozarks that we are talking about having this risk. Multiple threats in the forecast. My biggest concerns here are for some really high winds, damaging wind gusts, also some hail. There is a tornado threat with this, and there's also a risk for some flash flooding in localized areas. So multiple hazards are possible with the line of storms that develop with a powerful cold front that is going to track into the Ozarks later today. I expect that the wind is going to be the biggest thing to pack a punch, but I mentioned those showers that could be out there early in the day today. If you get rain early in the day, we're talking late morning hours, mid-morning and afternoon, it's actually a really great thing. What that's going to do is stabilize the atmosphere in your area a little bit, and it kind of takes some of the juice or takes some of the energy away from the storms for later on, so they may not have as much power. So what you want is the rain and storms early today. If it happens, well, it's going to lessen the likelihood of severe weather for you later. But I think somebody in the Ozarks is going to see some really powerful thunderstorms later today. So I want everybody to think about that. Think about your safety plan for this evening and overnight tonight. Of course, if you have anything going on outdoors, you may want to reconsider scheduling that for either somewhere else or pick a different day. The timeline here, we're really talking evening hours. So before sunset, I told you 4 p.m. at the earliest, that's going to be out in some of our western counties because it's a front that's tracking through from west to east. By 6 p.m., I think the threat is high for most areas that are kind of in the central portion of the Ozarks. This includes Springfield, towns along Highway 65, up and down the I-44 corridor. And then places out east closer like Rolla, that's going to be closer to where we have that threat around 11 p.m. or midnight tonight. A few storms possible early in the day today. As I mentioned, they could be maybe strong, maybe some small hail out of those, but they should be elevated. And that means that they're likely not going to bring the severe weather chances that the round that's coming through later today will bring. I also mentioned this threat for some localized flash flooding. And the key message here is that the Weather Prediction Center has a slight risk of excessive rainfall for much of our area Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's where I think we could see some really heavy downpours that are a little bit too much rain too quickly. Rainfall rates may be close to 2 inches per hour. That would be a lot to come at once. So there is going to be this risk for flash flooding. Big heads up for anybody that's going to be traveling or on the roads or lives in a flood-prone area in the Ozarks. We then have much cooler weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Today, I told you the high temperature is 77 for the forecast. We're falling to the 50s for the rest of the week. 30s for the low temperatures. So one thing that we have going for us today is the nice warm temperatures, but the trade-off is going to be strong to severe storms as that cold front comes through. That happens later this evening. So think about it now. Think about your safety plan. Of course, always having a basement or storm shelter is best, but really getting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you do go under one of those tornado warnings, that is really key. Thinking about the safest place in your structure, wherever you or your family is going to be this evening. You want to put as many walls between yourself and the outside as absolutely possible and be on the lowest floor possible. So want everybody to stay safe this evening in the Ozarks as we track strong to severe thunderstorms that will march through. Around the country, our severe weather is making headlines, and the severe threat is not just in the Ozarks, by the way. We are well within the severe threat, but this goes all the way back to portions of Arkansas, Oklahoma, portions of Texas, Kansas, all the way into Kentucky and Ohio, expecting that severe weather. It's also going to provide this flash flood threat from the southern plains eastward through the middle Mississippi and Ohio valleys today. A widespread portion of the country is expecting strong to severe storms. You're definitely going to hear about that in national news and national headlines. We also have this critical fire risk for the southern high plains today. They have the really strong south winds, the dry ground conditions, and that's been a big problem for our friends out west. Today, exceptionally critical, high fire danger out west there as well. We will get some rainfall out of this soaking downpour that's going to come through the Ozarks tonight. And I expect that will keep us in pretty good shape in terms of our fire risk here in the coming week or so. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister question for the day. I got to show you this one. This is what I left you with last week. Famous explorers Lewis and Clark began their journey on which river? And the options that I gave you were A, the Mississippi River, B, the Missouri River, C, the Ohio River, or D, the Kansas River. Well, if you didn't Google this one and you guessed it, congratulations. It is B, the Missouri River. I actually get tripped up on this one because there's that Lewis and Clark Museum on the Mississippi River in St. Louis. But B, the Missouri is the correct answer. So congrats if that was your guess. Here's a look at the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow morning. Did you know this was a website? allthingskites.com. Maybe a lot of kites showing up in the Easter baskets over the weekend. It was a good weekend to fly a kite. Breezy. We had some sunshine. So according to this website, allthingskites.com, which is the best month to fly a kite? Do you think it is A, March, B, April, C, September, or D, October? Which of those seems like the best choice to get out and fly a kite? You can let me know at the website. That's aroundtheozarks.com. All users who guess the correct answer for this brain trivia twister question this week will be entered into a pool to win a pair of tickets to a St. Louis Cardinals game, Sunday, May 4th, 2024. We will pick one winner. So, nice big prize for you this week. Win a pair of tickets to see the St. Louis Cardinals after they're home from spring training. It'll be a great game on May 4th. Head on over to the website. You can enter there. And the St. Louis Cardinals tickets are brought to you by 105.1 The Bull, your radio home for the St. Louis Cardinals. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. And thank you for listening and starting your work week with Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. I sure appreciate you listening, and I want everybody to stay safe with the severe weather that moves through the Ozarks this evening. Be on guard 4 p.m. to about 1 o'clock in the morning. Strong to severe storms will be marching across the Ozarks. Make sure you have a way to get your watches and warnings, and you know your safety plan. I'll chat with you all early tomorrow morning. Have a safe day.